Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, the NBA is cooked. The NBA is cooked. What's going on with the NBA, guys? Can we get some on-court greatness? It seems like we're watching or listening to a soap opera. So many damn stories going on that it's like, man, can we get to some on-court greatness? Can we get onto competitive basketball where dudes actually play basketball and compete? Instead, we got all these soap operas going on. And this is what the NBA is sold off of. Now, who can get out the story to YouTube so they can make some money? They can be the first, they can be the second, they can be the fourth, and they can say it better than other content creators. Now, it's a lot of stuff going on, but this Anthony Davis, and you know, Dreamers Pro, he got the story. Well, I wouldn't say first, but you know, he's a police, so he gets a lot of stories before a lot of other people do. But in the story, what he missed, which I've heard other people correct now because I said it first, but Dreamers Pro didn't catch it. But as he goes on to bash, well, I wouldn't say bash, but try to sound confused about did he win a ring? And this is what you got, guys. You're going to have, this has been going on forever. Some rogue NBA player is going to come out and say some nonsense. All this is just to keep the NBA alive, to keep your mind off of, they're all gambling and they're all taking part in betting on the games and stuff like that with these fake injuries and everything else, right? We already did a video on that. So Anthony Davis, and look, we can talk about what everybody else is talking about, but I talk about reality first and foremost. These guys won't do that. They don't want to mess up their money. Anyways. Oh, how can you prove it? Well, bro, the FBI just said they got all these big names when they took down Chauncey Billups and they took down, you know, all these other fools, right? The little names. They said they have big name, big players who participated in this gambling scandal. And all that was, we know who you are. You better pay us. And guess what? We ain't heard nothing else about that gambling scandal because they got paid. The authorities got paid. So what they did, they shook up the NBA. Or they shook them. What do you call it? They shook them down. It was a shakedown. Nevertheless, Anthony Davis says that the bubble championship was the hardest championship to win. And then he goes on to say, but did I really win a championship? Was it a real championship? What? These dudes do this same stuff all the time. They double talk. They're really not telling you nothing. You think you had a story, but you really don't have a story. Everybody's so focused on bashing LeBron James, they didn't catch what he said. Or some of the people I heard that put out the story. So that's just, you know, it just voids the whole story to me. He says it was the hardest championship. And then he says, but did I really win a championship? Was it a real championship? This is how you know this is shenanigans, guys. They do it all the time. They want to bash LeBron James. I'm talking about just anybody, whether it's a reporter, an ex-basketball player, a present basketball player, but they will give you a side note before they even start bashing him. Oh, he's this, he's that, you know, all the good stuff. He's a good father, he's a good husband, you know, he's the second greatest player of all time. LeBron James is, they'll just hype him up, right? And then they'll, you know, cut him down just a little bit to make it look like, you know, they're really saying something. They ain't saying shit. They ain't saying nothing. So I just thought that was funny because everybody jumped on the story like it was really something. We need to hear from Anthony Davis and him to clarify that ring and that championship run wasn't about nothing. We need to hear from Anthony Davis. This is the same guy that's playing the actor role of getting traded. We ain't gonna talk about him coming to LA, right? We ain't gonna talk about that. But getting traded, well, let's just say this, getting blamed every single year of them not winning the championship, them not making the playoffs, them getting bounced from the playoffs, them having a bad losing streak. Anthony Davis got all the blame. And then when they won a championship, he didn't get no credit. When they won a bubble championship, he didn't get no credit. And then this is the same Anthony Davis that took his walking papers to the Dallas Mavericks. And then, you know, all these reports came out that, you know, he took a shot at LeBron James. Nope, he's playing this actor role. So he goes over there to Dallas, which I wouldn't take him in the first place if everything was on the up and up, but we know that whole thing wasn't on the up and up, but it should have been on the up and up. I would not take Anthony Davis. The fool's always hurt. And, like I said, we don't know if he's been poisoned for all this gambling in the missing the games so they can get paid on how many games they play a year. It seems like anybody gets, next to LeBron James, they get tainted. Because I told you in 2 videos, I think all this stuff started a long time ago when LeBron James came into the league, throwing games, fixing games, all these upsets on his record from the Olympics, from the international games to the playoffs to the finals, all this stuff, guys. I'm not going to go over it. So Anthony Davis goes over there to Dallas, and guess what? He gets hurt right away, guys. And I forgot who got hurt first. Was it him or Kyrie? It was one of them. What? That was supposed to be an off-the-chain tandem going into the playoffs and really doing something. Not on the media, not on LeBron James' watch. They ain't. And what happened? They both felt like bowling pins. Oh, Anthony Davis did come back in the play-in last year. And what was he doing, guys? Nothing. They was acting like he wasn't even Anthony Davis, guys. They weren't even throwing him the ball. You're like, hey, man, I'm Anthony Davis. Hey, I'm Anthony Davis. Kyrie ain't here. Luka ain't here. Hey. And then, we know what happened this year. He took another fall. And then he got traded out because there's no way you're going to put Kyrie is probably going to. They're probably going to find some way to ship him away. But there's no way you could have AD, Kyrie, and Cooper Flag on the same team. Now we see how good Cooper Flag is. They would have did something to this NBA that's real bad. And it would have been expected with their type of skills together. But not on the LeBron James watch. AD and Kyrie win a championship together without LeBron. It ain't gonna happen, guys. Fake injuries, good acting jobs, and they still get paid. We all know Kyrie ain't coming back this year. Goodness God. He's probably gone. They're probably gonna ship him out somewhere. So you can't take Anthony Davis serious, guys. You don't take yourself serious. You don't. Now we got this thing, Jason Tatum. You saw the post I put up. ESPN put it up. And, these guys really never talk. I guess the media talks for them a lot of times. And I guess you can see it. I think it was an interview. I don't know if it was an interview. It might have just been like some speech that he made if you click on the fucking link. But if you click on the ESPN link, you always get fooled. You got to watch a whole damn show. But they act like you're just going to watch whatever, they posted. It's ridiculous. So I just read what it said. It said something like, Jaylen Brown said he's never going to put himself, what did it say? In the back or something like that. He's gonna always be a leader. Not Jason. Did I say Jason Tatum? Jaylen Brown. And I said, you know what that means? Tatum's ass is gone. See you later. Let me see if I can find this. Well, it says Jaylen Brown went in depth with Ramona Shelburne about becoming the leader Boston needed. This is something else too, but anyways. Jason Tatum is gone, guys. His days are numbered. They're not going to have 2 number ones on that team. It ain't going to happen. After they, do their little scripted playoff loss in the playoffs, the Boston Celtics, guess what? Jason Tatum's ass is gone. See you later. Because they're going to trade him to one of the guys got to go. And I don't think it's going to be Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum is going to be sent to a bottom feeder team to sell merch, to sell tickets, whatever. He's gone. Especially if he bombs in the playoffs and Jaylen Brown does good, that's going to be an even bigger reason to get rid of this fool. They don't need him, guys. They don't need Jason Tatum. What they need him for? So I seen this. I wish I didn't see it, but Kate Cunningham is talking about, the 65 game rule. I didn't watch all of it because, you could tell he's reading from a script because he's trying to think about what he's going to say on that script. Or not think about maybe he tried to remember whatever like that, but he didn't sound like a person that was talking from what he wanted to say. And we know the whole thing was scripted because the whole 65 game minimum rule is just a cover up for these guys missing games in this whole gambling scandal. I'm being serious. Let me see what I posted. I said, check out these actors talking about 65-game rule as a cover-up. What really is a 65-game rule? And I won't read all of it, but it just goes on to say what I was saying there. It's a cover-up, guys. The NBA has to get all these actors together and act like, yeah, man, the rules kind of messed up, man, because of this and that and blah, blah. Listen, do you think these fools in the NBA, these actors, care about money or some damn trophy? Money or trophy? Obviously, in this era, they only care about money. So you can make more money on betting on how many games you're going to play because you're doing it. And they say, oh, man, they would all have to be in on it. Yes, you're correct. They're all in on it. It could just be one rogue dude doing it by himself. That would get exposed. They're all in on it. The NBA, one guy goes out in the starting lineup. This is abundant with the start lineups. One guy goes out for 10 games. He comes back. The other guy from the start lineup, I'll see you in 10 games. See you later. He comes back. Another guy goes out for 10 games. And it's like that on every starting lineup. You never see nothing like that in your life. This is from people betting on how many games these players are going to play this season. That's why you see the NBA is in chaos and you don't even understand what's going on, why it has to be uniform, and all this chaos is going on because this is what happens when they're in on the gambling fix. You think you're just going to make money off of it and they're the actors, not you? And you really want me to respect this era? Get out of here. They just all hurt, right? The whole damn start lineup is hurt. Every single year, they're all hurt. The whole start lineup goes out for their amount of games. Victor Wembanyama, this dude ain't playing until the playoffs. I guess, the money on a prop betting and over and under on how many games they played, that's more important, guys. They don't give a damn about awards. Would you? They're not never gonna be in the top 10. Or be the greatest player of all time, or be better than Michael Jordan, or Kareem, or Will, or Magic, or Bird, or Kobe, or Shaq. You think they care about some awards, guys? You got dudes now that played back then selling their awards. Selling. Go look it up. Son, do you want an award or do you want money? They want money. Money talks and bullish walks. And that's why I ain't got no, whether you want to, whatever you want to believe, Victor Wembanyama fans, that's why I ain't got no respect for, I ain't going to say no respect, but the respect you want me to give Victor Wembanyama in his high praise, and he can't even stay healthy. So if he can't play now as a young player, what makes you think he can play later as an older player? It don't work like that. So he's going to duck the smoke this weekend from Joker, and you see, dudes didn't do that back in the day. If he's supposed to be this great player, he's supposed to, well, when I see this fool again at the end of the season, I'm gonna put something on him. And I know it don't mean nothing, but still the competitive spirit, I'm gonna put something on him. Oh, he ain't gonna play? Well, I'm gonna put 60 on this team. Where are these players that's putting up these 50 spots, 40 spots, 60 spots, and all this stuff? These great players like Victor Wembanyama, okay, 40, whatever. Like, how can in this running gun, fast-paced era, where are they 50-point games, 60-point games? And this shit should be consistently with these high scores, but you don't see this from these players like that. So yeah, he's gonna duck out on Joker in the last game of the season. Pretty sad. So this fool scat right here, man. He says in his latest tirade, he goes on a tirade in his last video, he just won't stop with this MVP thing. And he goes on in the wild, wild west. Like the West is so wild. A whole bunch of dudes who can't even play and don't want to compete, don't play defense, and you never know when they're going to play. Oh, it's so wild. It's so competitive in that West, right? He tries, whatever. But he goes on to say that Joker has had the best run. Well, no, he didn't say run. He's been the best player of the last decade. So this is 2026. He didn't say the 2020s. He didn't say this decade because we ain't even been through a whole decade in this decade. He said the last decade. So that would be 2026 to 2016. Let that marinate. So before we get into Joker, I would assume that from the other decade, he would say who was the best from 2016 to 2006, or well, 2015 to 2005, whatever you want to say. He would say it was Kobe. A lot of LeBron James fans would be pissed. I wouldn't disagree with him on that. But let's think about this. The first season, Jokic qualified for any award was 15-16. So basically 16, he qualified for his first award as a rookie. Guess what? He qualified, but he didn't get nothing. And let's take it even further. His first two seasons, 15-16 and 16-17, didn't make All-Star, none of those seasons. Didn't make All-NBA, none of those seasons. Not even 13. Woo, that's rough. And didn't even make the playoffs in those first two seasons. This is the guy that he's telling us has been the greatest player from 2016 to 2026. Never made a defensive team. Ouch, you're exposing yourself. The greatest player in the past decade has never even made a defensive team, guys. I don't know about that. So, okay. So you're trying to tell me in 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, we won't even go to 22 or 23. You can debate that. And you might be able to debate 21 and 20. But in that time, he was better than LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. He was better than all those guys. Listen to what I say. He's saying that Joker was better than those guys. Even in 16, which was his rookie year, 15, 16, he was better than those guys. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, he was better than all those guys. Bro, it was guys in that time period that not only made all NBA over him, but made all NBA defensive. And it was guys who, even when he was making all NBA, was making all NBA and all NBA defensive. No damn way has Joker been the greatest player the past 10 years. And just because you win an MVP doesn't make you the greatest player of all time, or the greatest player that year. Did anybody consider Jokic? I think when he started winning MVPs in 21 or something like that. That's what, whatever, 20 or 21, whatever it was. You're not the greatest player just because you won it that year. It's got to be consistent about what you're doing and how many you win. Now, do we know him as being the greatest player in the 2020s? Yes. No argument with that. Nobody's arguing that. But there's no damn way he's been the greatest player the past 10 seasons. No way. No damn way. That goes back to 2016, guys. What the hell is this guy talking about? Now, I'm not trying to say he had to win the MVP since 2016. That's ridiculous. What I'm trying to say is, if you try to at least tell me that the guy started his career in 2015-16 and he was all-star, all-NBA. Remember, this is a weak era, guys. It really started in 2015-16. That's when it really started to get real weak. So 15 and 16, no all-star, no all-NBA, no playoffs. 16 and 17, no all-NBA, no all-star, no playoffs. So if you did that in reverse, damn, at least for 1 year, one of those years, and say, yeah, he did make all-NBA or all-star one of those years, his first two seasons. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. And you can lobby me a little bit. But when you have people like Mark Gasol, Boobie Cousins, Carl Anthony Clowns, these type of dudes making all NBA and all-star over you for the first 2 seasons, what the hell is that? I was trying to find this too. I just want to see all the dudes. I wasn't planning on going this far, but Scap is just trying to qualify this guy somewhere. Is this it? No. I'll probably never find it. That he's not. He ain't never been. And it's okay. But he can't be more than what he was. But, of course, this guy's Cap wants you to believe he was more than what he was. I was trying to find out all those players that made it over him. I probably won't find it. But yeah, he's the greatest player of this decade. I ain't got no problem with that. And you can't argue that. But what does that even tell you, though? If he's the greatest player of this decade and he don't play defense, what does that tell you? Well, it tells you nobody plays defense in this era, so you can't hold it against him. But it disqualifies him amongst the great players in the past that did play defense. And we all know he got in there. Well, he's getting this status that he don't really deserve because there's no great centers in this era. And he's not really a center anyway. He's like a power forward. But, we ain't going to hold that against him. It is what it is as far as, him being great. But he ain't going to be up there with these other players, man. He just ain't. These all-time great centers, he just ain't never going to be there. So for Scap Attack, his one job is to do what? Over-exaggerate every damn thing. That he brings you. 1 minute he's saying this league ain't about nothing. Then he act like this league is so great so he can, take up for Joker. He, because you got to have an explanation how Joker is, supposedly so great. How is he so great when he ain't playing no damn center competition? He got to explain that. But of course he can't explain that. But yeah, that's what he said, guys. A lot of ludicrous things. And, over-exaggerates everything. And then, overhypes everything, whatever. And then when his predictions don't come true, what happens? He's going to do one of two things. Either he ain't going to talk about it, or he's just going to make up a whole bunch of excuses, guys. And I'm talking about his picks or how good this team was, how good that team was, and then when they collapse in the playoffs or, whatever happens, because he's always trying to, I think he's in bed with the gambling thing. Not that you can't have picks or anything like that, or, but he just goes over the top, guys. Every time he gets on his channel, he goes over the top about how good this team is, how good this team is, and then when they start to falter and fall, oh, this and that, and this, he just be making up all kind of excuses, man. So he might be in on the fix, man. We already know ESPN, they always trying to get you to, oh, here it is right here. So, yeah, like I said, 15 and 16 and 16 and 17 was Joker's first 2 seasons in the NBA, right? So, who made All-NBA in 15 and 16? DeAndre Jordan made first. Second, Boobie Cousins. Third, who is this? Andre Drummond, guys. He got beat out on first team by DeAndre Jordan. Second team, Boobie Cousins. Third team, Drummond, guys. 16 and 17, Joker gets beat out by first team, Anthony Davis. Okay, that's respectable. But if you that dude, right? And you go, oh man, a lot of players didn't make All NBA back in the day when they came in. Well, a lot of great players didn't have 2 teams. Or not, 3 teams. They didn't have 3 teams. Second of all, some of them did make All NBA the first seasons. A lot of great players. And if not, they definitely made it their second year. And a lot of them didn't have third teams. So yeah, 16, 17, first team, Anthony Davis. Second team, Rudy Gobert, guys. Third team, and this, let me just say this first. Third team was DeAndre Jordan. And this is centers. These are all centers. It ain't like today, which I'm gonna piss on this. If Wemby and Joker both make all NBA first team, no, that ain't going down in my book. So this is when the NBA was still respectable, where they was putting guys on there based on position. So let's go to all NBA defensive in those first 2 years. 15 and 16, Anthony Davis made first team. Second team, Joel Embiid. Oh, no. I don't have that. That was on another graph. This is All-Star. My fault. I was trying to find that too. I wish I could find it. Because I ended up doing it. Because some of these guys in 15 and 16 who made All-NBA also made All-NBA defensive. And if I'm mistaken, it was... Oh, God. I want to say the wrong name. I want to say it was Anthony Davis. Definitely Rudy Gobert. I want to say DeAndre Jordan. Might have been DeMarcus Cousins. Man, I ain't got that graph. But 15 and 16 to make All-Star, guys. And you can have 4 centers on there. It ain't no problem. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that. That's an All-Star game. When we start putting 2 centers on an All-NBA first team, that's ridiculous. And I think that's what they're going to do this year with Victor Wembanyama and Joker. No, to me, either you're the best center to be on first team, or you're not. You're going down the second team, or you're going down the third team. Can't be 2 centers on one team. That's ridiculous. This is girl basketball, guys. Don't you ain't gonna listen. Can't feel sorry for these guys. You got to take it. You got to earn it. That ain't what these players want anymore. They want people feeling sorry for them. As we talk about Joker right here, he had to come and take the center position in the All NBA eventually, in the 210s in the early 2020s, whatever. You got to take his. So anyways, 15 and 16 All-Star, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, and Karl Anthony Towns. What? You couldn't even make All-Star in 15 and 16 over Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns? Oh, goodness. Did Joker miss the All-Star 3 years? Wow, that can't be true, guys. Anyways, 16 and 17. Is this guy DeMarcus Aldridge? I think that's his name. LaMarcus. He made it. AD made it. And Boobie Cousins made it. And I would have to go check on this. What I think is saying Joker didn't make it in 17, 18. Let me check this out real quick. Because I thought he only missed All-Star his first 2 seasons. I don't want to say the wrong ish. So he made it. Oh, yeah, his first 3 years, guys. So 16, 17. Oh, wow. Let me see if I might have been telling this wrong. So All NBA. Same thing with All NBA, guys. It's the first 3 seasons. Wow. Glad you stayed with me. So let me make sure he came in at the right time. So they're trying to say, yep, 15 and 16, his first year. So we would have, qualified for an award in 2016. So his first 3 years, guys. Ouch. So I was looking at that wrong. So it was 17 and 18 that he got beat out by Anthony for All NBA. Anthony Davis first team, Joel Embiid second team, Karl Anthony Towns third team, guys. So that was 3 years of getting beat out. God, painful. So we redo the All-Star 15-16 with LaMarcus Aldridge, Anthony Davis, Boobie Cousins. 16-17 All-Star, it was Boobie Cousins, Marc Gasol, and DeAndre Jordan. In 17-18, he got beat out. And there's 4 guys on here, guys. 4 guys on the All-Star. That was centers, guys. Anthony Davis, Boobie Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns, and LaMarcus Aldridge. And we did this video to where most of these guys got old or hurt. And that was the rise of Joker. Yeah. So when we go back to Scap, and he's been the greatest player for the last decade. What happened in those first 3 years? And we didn't even go with some of these guys, like I said, they were on the defensive team in those years they made All NBA. I thought I had that graph. It's around here somewhere. Nobody wants to address that, guys. That's unaddressable because that ruins Joker's entire career, guys. Look at some of those names on there. They won't never be a top 100, a Hall of Famer, and then some of them will be off of default, like Carl Anthony Clowns and, Rudy Gobert. The only respectable name I see on there, really, and I'm not trying to diss all of them and say, they were bad players, but I'm just saying the only guy that respectable to me that's really a great player is Anthony Davis. But he can't even keep his shit together. He already made the top 75. So that's not, these guys really even his competition now. It's only a couple of them. Joel Embiid, always hurt. Carl Anthony Clowns. Rudy Gobert. Anthony Davis can't even play basketball no more, guys. And these are the guys that stopped him from making All NBA and All-Star his first 2 seasons. Not even a 13. There's 3 and 4 centers in an All-Star back then. He couldn't make it, guys. So what is this the past decade that he's been the greatest player in the NBA? Whoa. Literally, he's only been, if you want to say that, since like 21 when it started. 2021. Yes, he made an All-Star in 19? 18, 19? And he made All-NBA. He just jumps on All-NBA first team out of nowhere. Wasn't even third or second before that. Just first team. After missing the All-NBA his first 3 seasons. Wow, what a weak league. And if I'm mistaken, he did that the same season Anthony Davis was hurt. And then the next season, Anthony Davis comes back and makes All-NBA over him. All-NBA first team, if I'm mistaken. Now, I remember one year, I think that was the year Joel Embiid won MVP, and he was All-NBA first team over Joker. So, to me, where do we even start? Where he was the best player in the league. I'm talking about when it started, because you got guys coming in, not because you're injured or nothing like that. Guys making All-NBA first team over you after you already made All-NBA first team. I'm just saying. In his prime. So Scab can say whatever. He don't want to challenge me, man. We just put them facts on the table, and it's nothing against Joker. He is what he is in this era, the best player in the 2020s. But he ain't been the best player the past decade. The last 10 years. Which he says a decade now. No fucking way.